everybody, welcome back to another Stoneface Reactions. I'm Griffin, this is Theta, and we're here to watch another episode of Tokyo 24th Ward. That's right, I totally remember what we were doing today. Last time, what happened last time? My brain's gone totally blank. Oh, that's right. So I'm gonna try filling this in, and then you tell me every way I'm possibly wrong.
So I'm here for.
The teacher's young girl was out looking at art that was being made in memorial of her, and she was taking pictures because she knew that it was going to be scrubbed away and taken down. And it ended with her getting like a life lesson of like, just because it's gone doesn't mean, it's not valuable anymore, to help her get over that. And then I totally forgot what the B plot was.
Well, one, I don't think he's a teacher.
He was at some point.
I don't know that. We've only seen him in PTA meetings, which doesn't imply that he's a teacher. Or it can,
Maybe
but
he changed. Maybe he changed job at some point. Who knows?
Two, it's not in memorial for her. She's alive.
No, in memorial of her father.
You said to her.
I'm just dumb and say stuff.
I mean, also, the painting was called Super Kaba, so her name's not Kaba.
Right. Yeah, father is called Kaba.
The B plot was Red hates drugs.
Oh yeah. It was the whole drug theme, just like establishing that, a little bit of world building. Like, here's how the underclass is suppressed and stuff like that. Whatever.
Again, you're bringing your personal politics into this, and it's not what's being said. You're leaning heavily into Red's perspective, but again, we've seen how Green's perspective is on it, and that's what actually is happening.
We had that whole discussion. I just don't want to rehash that like at the start of the vid as people are like finishing up the previous one. There's a ghetto. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's a ghetto of their own creation, Griff.
Yes, they've described it. They've gone through it. They've set stuff up. But the thing that they ended off this time is that Red's friend isn't actually on drugs. He's on C4, and he's going to blow up a ship. And they've just gotten the call. The main character, Blue, has realized that, wait a second, we're about to have to kill a friend or something. Well, and that's the choice they're going to have to make.
They didn't
save their friend or kill everybody.
They didn't think Kunai was on drugs.
We thought they were.
No, we thought he was a drug dealer. That is what we specifically said.
Right.
Because he was out there where the drugs were, and he just wanders up to the girl, hey girl, you want some of this D?
Right. So, he definitely has an inferiority complex, though, where he's just like, well, I'll never make great art. I guess I'm stuck here. I'll do crime now. And that apparently has rendered him at least suggestible to whatever hypnotism is affecting the main characters, and that the antagonist also has some control over.
I think that's a lot of speculation, that last half of what you just said. One, we don't know that he's gone to terrorism because he's a bad artist and can't escape. We know we don't know he's a bad artist. We just know he's not the best artist, and it wasn't good enough to escape the situation he's in. We don't know that that's why he's gone to terrorism. We just know that he's gone to terrorism at some point. Also, we don't know that he's being hypnotized, and also, that's a big supposition that you're putting out there, that our main characters are being hypnotized.
Something's happening to their brain, and that's the most convenient word that I have right now. Yeah, because I don't really know how to describe it in one word otherwise.
Yeah, you're pulling out like that shonen anime trope where I can hypnotize you to make you stronger than you actually are. It's like
their eyes change, and then they do different things.
Sure, but are you saying that
making them swirly eyes instead?
Are you saying that the Power Rangers are being hypnotized every time they morph?
Well, Zordon did ask for a bunch of impressionable teenagers with attitude.
No, he just said teenagers with attitude. He didn't say impressionable.
I believe it's merely implied because they're teenagers.
Anyways, again, I think that's a lot of supposition. I don't believe that the Kunai is being hypnotized, specifically because we've never seen him interact with anything.
Right. Well, I'm going to be interested in, like, how far that goes, right? Like, because that's my guess, but it could be anywhere between he's being mind-controlled entirely, or, he just got a soft talking to of, like, hey, by the way, would you like to blow something up? And he's just like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, I mean,
There's a
free
spectrum
will.
there, and I'm going to guess like between 0 and 10, it's like at 6 or 7.
Free will is a big point in this anime. So I'm going to
You're
assume that
right.
it's not the hypnotism thing, and it's more on the
Mm.
level of, because if you were to take your viewpoint that the slums are, I guess it's more my viewpoint than yours, that the slums are a symbol of free will and not. Well, I don't know. I guess it's a mixture of both our viewpoints on the slums, because we obviously have very different ideas what they represent.
Um,
That the slums are a symbol of free will in this district, which has succumbed to Hazard Cast.
Hazard
The
Cast.
Hazard Cast, which is a more realistic version of Minority Report, I guess. Well, in that they don't arrest people before they commit their crimes; they just have
It's
cops ready at the
it
scene where a crime would be committed.
right. It's a very soft Minority Report where the technology is still fantastical, but the results are more practical and like reasonable. It's like, well, we're still making a guess, but this is a very educated one.
Well, yeah, and this time it's like a supercomputer. It's making percentile guesses instead of here's 3 people who can see the future and they're always right. Yeah, it's not
Mm-hmm.
a guess. It's theirs is not a guess. Theirs is a ping pong ball painted with a picture. But
Right.
yeah, no. If the
Gosh, I forgot that sound.
yeah, no, I'm saying if this is
Uh,
if the slums are represent free will and the rest of the district with Hazard Cast represents security over free will, which not really, but it's a mixture of both of our thoughts on the matter.
mhm.
Uh, then we're at the point that this guy would represent the free will. I'm doing this of my own volition, versus your idea of hypnotism, which is our heroes would be hypnotized, loss of free will, gaining security.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's why I'm saying that he is not being hypnotized. I don't believe.
Yeah. So I think that really just comes down to let's see what happens. I'm going to actually take a bet on he just gets shot.
Do you think he's going to get shot? Okay, let's see.
Yeah, let's do it.
If you think he's going to get shot, what do I think? You're talking about Kunai.
Yeah, Kunai.
Do you think Kunai is going to get shot? So you think they're going to go for one of the 2 options instead of making their own third option?
I don't think they're going to go for it. I think it's going to happen.
I think that we were shown last disaster that they can't operate on a failure basis. I think that was
Hmm.
the learning point, that one, that we have to work together, otherwise people die. So I think
Right.
that
Yeah, I
this
think that was their C
time,
point.
I think this time it's going to be they do a third option that saves everybody. I don't think Kunai's going to get shot if we're betting.
Right. Do they truly work together on a singular plan? Well, let's see how it pans out. April 4th, 2010, 2 years ago.
Maybe 2 years ago. The anime takes place in 2021. It's not even 2 years ago to our date.
Wait, if it takes place in 2021, this is 1 year to go from the present where they're adults after high school.
No, I'm saying that the present in the anime is 2021. This is in 2010 right now in this scene. So this is 11
Oh wait,
years
you're
ago.
right, I can't do math.
That's what I'm saying. What are you talking about?
It's too early for me, and by early I mean before noon.
殴ってくる親父さん捕まったんだろざまあって感じそれもいいかもなおーかっけーあれゼロスのグラフィティじゃね
So that graffiti's just been there for a while.
Well, from Zero. Also, I just want to put out to any viewer that I did recognize we were talking about child abuse for a second ago, and we were just
Oh yeah.
while we were discussing numbers.
Oh hey, they just literally meet the hero, awesome. Only one way. Oh, not just shoot him, snipe him.
Yeah, we talked about that last time. And since we can never put the intro in here, just want to talk about the fact that we just discussed the principle of double effort. That's a thing that showed up in the intro.
And is actually directly relevant to this.
Possibly.
As I was saying, this author is apparently actually incredibly well read, and I'm perfectly cool with that.
Again, it's possibly relevant. All of those words appear in every intro.
そこも気になるが、今重要なのは爆発の阻止だ。爆発が起こる豪華客船のカジノ。
Red's already shaken up by this.
24分を指していた。つまり、
Well, Kunai is his
それが
friend.
タイムリミットだ。
Not the other
テロ
way.
リストを捕まえれば、下手に刺激して遠隔で爆破されたら、第三の道はリスクが高い。
でも射殺なんて。
テロリストに同情の余地などない。
映像内のモノレール駅どこだったか覚えてる？
いや、
暗すぎて分かりにくかったけど、あれは新居浜駅だった。
What happened to their eidetic memories?
They're going over details right now about what they've seen.
Yeah, the other two didn't remember the thing that Red saw.
I think it's just because they haven't interacted with that station recently, so they don't remember it. They remember the vision that they've gotten. They don't remember, like, oh yeah, that's this place that I was wandering around recently, which is why
But
Red
last
remembers
time
it.
they were all remembering things from each other's memories. Not last time, the first time. Which is why I'm talking about eidetic memories. They had not only eidetic memories, but eidetic memories of each other's memories.
にべもないか。
Wow, they're just brushing him off.
やはり相手を直接観察できないと。
That's probably because the Joker hasn't been on TV to advertise it yet.
Yeah, that's true.
いや、そのままで頼む。
でも嘘の予告だぞ。
外形を動かすために必要だ。
オッケー。なるほどな。
Okay.
じゃあ俺
It's a-
Who's he talking to there? Yeah.
just an English okay.
号に乗り込んでくるわ。
なんだと？お前何を相談もなしに？
カルネアデスの用意した2択を選ばされるの。なんか腹立つじゃねえか。
爆弾の形状もわからないんだぞ。
乗り込んでから考えるわ。俺はターキー？
Oh, he's still alive.
Why wouldn't he be?
You were saying he was dead last time in the tornado.
That's not the same guy. What are you talking about?
何が？
Kappa is the guy that died, who you were talking about thinking he wasn't dead. You are so confused, Griff.
いるわけねえとは思うけど。
ちょっと待っとくれ。あら、くない。
クナイのばあちゃん、久しぶり。
また散歩に行っていたのかい？帰りが遅いから心配してたんだよ。
ばあちゃん、認知症進行してる。くそ、PC からの探索に引っかからねえ。クナイ、一体今どこにいる？爆弾なんてお前のやり方じゃねえだろ。むき出しのハードディスク。この紙。俺は罪深い犯罪者だ。犯罪者？
くない。あんたのくれたこれ、とてもいいね。聞いていると足の痛みが引くし、気持ちがすっと楽になる。不思議だね。
ばあちゃん、それちょっと貸してもらっていい？
Oh, but my feet hurt.
開発した音楽アプリ TVer。生体セン
Oh, he actually...
してたよね、確か。ビンゴ。このコード現在
That's a lot of stuff he's capable of in a lot of seconds.
罪深い。TVer。
I don't know, he really just opened up the memory on a device. It's not really that hard to do.
Red is also solving a word puzzle.
ディーバの配信会社。株式会社カブラヤって確か。
I'm trying to make a comment on it, but I just like I can't. Ah.
And since you can't seem to remember, Tarky was a character we only met last episode.
I thought he was also the real estate developer.
I'm not sure about that, but he was the guy who was on one of these boats last episode. He's not the same guy that we thought was the construction company guy from the second episode.
出かけるのかい？
ああ、すぐに戻る。必ずクナイを連れ戻すよ。
獅子座さん、お願いがあります。
Maybe he has a couple of
どうした
them.
の？頭なんか下げて。
彼女に回りくどいのはダメだ。聞いていただけたら。
That counts as super introspection, which is his ability.
Yup.
Covered that in one sentence, by the way. Beating
But
around
I
the bush won't help.
時間がないわ。
I do find it hilarious that his solution is always, I just gotta be direct.
いつでも切り捨てられるダミー会社。
そういえば最近クナイさん見ませんね。
シャンティータウンの犯罪率上昇。
錠剤粉末植物リキッドなんもない。
ディーバの更新内容。あれ？エレベーター動くの？いつの間に修理されたん？区内の口座への不自然な多額入金。いや、 そんなものがなくても。
なんでもない。いつものことだ。
答えはすぐそこにあったじゃんか。くない。お前は犯罪者なんかじゃねえ。汚ねえ大人どもの被害者だ。
Oh, we're the problem.
クナイさん、今度は何を
Yeah.
開発してるんですか？
It's our
How
thing
dare
to
you, Theta.
recognize at this point in life that we are adults now, so we're the villains of all of these anime.
自動音楽生成アプリだ。
ほう。
センサーでユーザーの身体反応を読み取って現在のバイオリズムに適したヒーリング音楽を作ってくれる。もうストアで公開済みだ。
どれどれ？
うわ、評価めっちゃ高っ。
すぐにダウンロードしますね。
私
で
も落とそう。
もそれデンジャーじゃね？
なぜだ？
音楽で人を癒せるなら傷つけたりもできるでしょ？
そんなデータ分析。
What a dumb
シーフォ
argument.
ンの処理能力じゃ不可能なんじゃないか。
I mean, I guess he's right. You can
Oh,
always
yeah.
just
That's dumb, Griff. Don't agree.
一瞬で俺
If I gave you too much aspirin, you could die too. I
ラン
mean,
の言う通りだ。これは使い方次第で危険物となる。
anything can kill you if you use too much of it or do it the wrong way. Don't use your toaster in the bathtub, for example.
天才プログラマーの工藤ナイト君ですね。私こういうものです。
So how are the sub-villains connected to the greater villain here? This is interesting.
の生体センサーをフルに活用しているある種の芸術だ
That's
と
far,
思います
far moving out of the realm of we want to control the 24th Ward.
いずれ D バをシーフォンの標準アプリにしたいと考えています。そのために正式に権利を買い取りたいと思いまして、もちろん十分な金額
すべてのシーフォンに俺のアプリが。いや、でもあれは。
そういえばおばあ様、少し認知症でいらっしゃるようですね。
ばあちゃん。
足も悪いのにエレベーターが壊れていて大変ですね。うちはエレベーターも扱っていましてね。きっとお力になれると思いますよ。
Dang, it is really hard not to be sympathetic to that decision. And then that happens.
And then the happening is happening again.
人が降ってきたぞ。誰だよこいつ。ディーバー。いや、でもその前に似た何かが見えた気が。俺の作ったアプリが改変されてる。これ。ここで購入したベイプ。
I feel like you're cheating, Griff. How the hell would you know hypnotism was going to come into play?
I But, you know, this also does set up the background for how the phones give people superpowers, too.
Again, like I said in the intro, that makes no fucking sense. Don't hypnotize someone to be stronger than they are.
A drug with no physical substance. Damn. He just literally clicked a folder and said, I'm inside his PC, that's great.
I mean, he could have had a program already linked up.
I'm sure.
That's the guy from the first episode.
He's already catching up to the heroes pretty fast.
つまり滝は初めからディーバを改造する気で買い上げた。完全に俺のせいだ。裏を取りもせずに売ったりしたから。やっぱりランへ言わないと。よ、言えるのか。今さら頼れるわけ。
There we go. Everything is guilt motivated here.
Okay, on one hand, you were right about the hypnotism. On the other hand, I don't think you're right. He's not hypnotized.
He's not specifically.
You
Yeah,
called out hypnotism, which is happening. It's not happening to him.
Wait, no, it activated.
Fuck you, Griff!
I'm right. I'm right.
Every time I think about fucking opening my mouth, the damn thing happens.
Oh, I've never been so happy to be so right.
It's out of nowhere.
And then literally goes to the guy who ruined him to give him the bomb.
Oh, yeah, 'cause look at his eyes.
ウィナーズ号で行われるレセプションパーティー。 そこで滝はハワードに直接ハードディスクを手渡す手はず。
Yeah, so now if he dies, all this information goes away.
この街を苦しめ
It is literally Taki wrapping up loose ends here. That is fascinating.
そういえば筑紫さんはどちらへ？
先輩は区長の護衛。東京都知事との極秘会談だって。
Top secret
あなたの
meeting.
お父様は24区をどう導くのかしらね。
外形です。捜査に協力をお願いします。
事件？
被疑者爆発物反応ともに確認できません。やはりか。
Also, I just realized they're absolutely packing.
俺を騙してミスリードして。
Okay.
I mean, no, I mean, like, this is Japan, like, where there's, like, heavy gun restrictions. These guys are just like, yeah,
No.
sure, full-on rifle, submachine guns.
24th Ward, it hasn't gone back to Japan yet.
I guess, yeah.
That's the whole premise about this, is that the 24th Ward is about to be, I don't know what the word is.
Annexed.
No, brought back into Japan. It's a alternate history, remember, where the U.S. created this artificial
Yeah,
island.
so the word would be annexed, put drawn back in.
It's a reword. It smells of rewords. I can't remember.
クナイ、お前ドラッグ D よ。
この車両を覚えてるか？
Repatriated. I
ゼ
can't
ロス
remember.
はただのグラフィティをアートに昇華させた。ゼロスが書いたから消されるは
It's
ずの
basically Hong
落書きが
Kong
今もこう
before
して保
going
管
back
され
to
ている。
China. But
Yeah, yeah.
ここはお前が初めてハッキング
But they got to the confrontation real fast.
それは
do you think so? I don't think so. This episode's almost over. This is how long it's taken them to get to the confrontation.
正しく使えなきゃただの犯罪者だ。
違う。クナイ、お前は犯罪者じゃねえ。被害者だろ。
こんなことをいくら繰り返しても誰の心も動かせやしない。
違う。俺の心はいつも動いていた。だからお前とドレッドを続けてきたんだ。
綺麗事はたくさんなんだ。でも殺してしまって何が悪い。
こんなの俺たちのやり方じゃねえだろ。
お前の作品ならいつか世界中の人の心を変えられるだろう。だが今には間に合わない。 D を使うとよくわかるよ。こいつはやばい。理性がぶっ飛んで体の底から怒りと快感が湧き上がってくる。でもおかげで自分が何をするべきか分かった。手遅れになる前にアーティストにはできないことを犯罪者の俺がやる。
違うだろ。お前は
これが俺のやり方だ。
シュート。
Oh, he did get sniped.
God damn it, Griff, you're always fucking right on this show. Except, I mean, I don't know how you can be so wrong on, like, I didn't know the dad was dead, to...
No, I
calling
did know
every-
the dad was dead.
You said he wasn't dead before.
I said the real estate developer was because you said that.
No, that's it. You're getting that wrong. You last
But I got
episode...
everything else right.
Last
There
episode,
go.
you said you didn't know the dad was dead. You didn't talk about the real estate developer.
Can't protect criminals. So fucking brutal.
この犯罪者は誰だよ。クナイの思いや迷いに苦悩に命に何の価値もないってそう言いたいのか。
議論の余地はない。抵抗するなよ。
And he chooses to blow it up anyway.
ダメだ。お前はアーティストなんだよ。ラン。
クナイ。
動くな。
後期がテロの阻止に貢献か。
End credit scene.
報告ありがとう。ふん、時期的にもそろそろか。
The conspiracy.
はい。
私だ。準備はできているな。
滞りなく。では
Remember, she's talking to Green's dad.
カナエシステムの本格起動で24区に革命を起こす。
Well, that's ominous.
Like I said, that's Green's dad, and we already know she was in on it. I mean, technically, Green could also be in on it since he knows about Hazard Cast, and she works for the Hazard Cast directly as well as working for his father.
Right. This does all logically follow. I don't think Green is in on it because he seems as genuinely surprised as everyone else.
But we also got our explanation about how Hazard Cast works from Green. So,
Right. I don't think he's privy to this information, but still, this is all. Yeah, I was right. I haven't never been happier to be right, and they still killed him, and they lost all the information that would have just immediately put a stop to all of this. They wrapped up loose ends perfectly. The villains got away with it.
I mean, didn't get what he wanted, so they didn't actually get everything that they wanted.
They didn't blow up the ship, you're right, but the Taki got away with everything that he did, and specifically wrapped up the loose end of the programmer who originally made this stuff.
Right, but that wasn't his plan.
No, that was totally part of his plan, I think.
No, because he could not have anticipated Red, Green, and Blue getting in on this. That wasn't a part of his plan. His plan was to blow up the ship, and that was it. Because Red, Green, and Blue, remember, the guy Kunai getting assassinated was part of Green trying to stop it and getting Sarg mixed in and everything. Without Red, Green, and Blue, Sarg wouldn't have gotten mixed in. All that would have happened was this guy went to a railroad depot, hit a button, boat explodes.
Mm-hmm. They just said it was only like 500 grams of C4, and seeing like just the hard drive of it's like that wouldn't sink the whole boat without being like in a very specific place. But the guy was literally holding it in his hand the entire time, and I don't think ever let go of it.
Right, and the implication there is what you're saying is that his plan was to get himself blown up.
Was he a suicide bomber?
No, because he's the main character for his whole organization.
Exactly, like that doesn't check out versus his behavior. So I'm just like,
he's not the main character of the bad organization. The main character is that business guy we only saw like twice now. He's like the acting big guy who controls all the little guys. But I don't. Again, had the plan gone according to plan, he'd be blown up, and the other guy would still be alive, and there would be a ton of loose ends.
Maybe he's also being hypnotized.
The guy who who sold the hypnotism program is being hypnotized by the program he bought and sold.
You're right. There's something funkier going on. So my thought was that his program was the one that can give people superpowers. Given what you just said, I don't think that anymore.
No, it's still Hazard Cast. Hazard Cast is the one giving people superpowers.
Well, no, I mean, like, it would be, like, the same code project added to that. Like, when the phone call happens, it would have been his code, was my thinking. But that does not seem to be true, because it seems like one existed before the other. And these are people who have worked on different projects, but have come to the same conclusion or theory about how things work. So he could potentially have written a program like that at some point, but he's not the person who has written what the heroes are using.
Well, the problem we're getting is we're getting Bisco levels of flashbacks now, where we see him developing the thing, and then we see him sell it, and then we see the whole hypnotism, drug diva come into play. And then,
they had to put the whole conspiracy together real fast on this one.
Yeah. So it wasn't this happened 10 years ago. This happened a year ago. We're getting weird mixed flashbacks of things that are happening. Yeah,
this happened last episode, by the way.
And what was it? Another thing that's come up now. Can we agree Kunai didn't have superpowers?
Yes, I think so.
But his eyes changed.
Yes.
And our heroes, their eyes change when they get superpowers.
Yes.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
Kunai's eyes changed, and he didn't get superpowers.
Yeah, I guess his healing program didn't get to the point of unlocking superpowers by the time it came around to hypnotizing people.
Again, I still think it's incredibly stupid if that's what we're going with, that hypnotism makes you superhero.
I mean, that's just what I'm using. I'm sure they will, like, explain it, like... Well, I mean, they explained it in the episode. It's like, it's healing music. It can change your body and functions and cause things to happen. It literally can be drugs with no physical source.
Oh, the thing I was going to bring up from before. I can't remember the name of it, but it's the zombie movie where it's words, basically. Words get into your head and turn you into a zombie because you start repeating the words over again. It's named after the... Did you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
The name
I
of the name of the movie is literally the name of the place that the guy is in because he's a radio host,
Mhm.
and it's literally language is a virus, and it turns people into zombies.
Yeah. So then to put this all together, what we're looking at is that words can cause effects that are beyond the normal, so we literally have a magic system now. People are spellcasting with phones.
Pontypool was the name.
Pontypool. Okay, well, everyone go check that out.
But yeah, I think it's very stupid. It's very stupid if we're using hypnotism by sound as superpower trigger. Like, man, I can run up this building normally. Now I can jump over this building because I listened to this phone call.
Right, like, so for most of what's happening, I think I could probably actually buy that. Like, because it's beyond what people are normally seem like they're capable of, but it's still like very much like within the boundaries of what's possible. Like red can hack really fast, green just pays it more attention to people. Those are pretty normal things to maybe happen. Like those are within the boundaries of reality.
Not blue superpowers.
Blue jumps up buildings and runs faster than trains now.
And dodges bullets.
And dodge bullets. That he is at Superman levels, and that is the most fantastical part of all of this. Everything else could line up as reasonably plausible.
I think this episode is also the one that's probably destroying all of my predictions.
Oh, yeah?
Well, if we're pulling out hypnotism, right? Then it seems unlikely that it's a ghost in the machine situation where, like, the mother and daughter are hazard cast, like they're in there, like artificial intelligence or spirits or whatever. Seems more likely if the phone calls are affecting them in a hypnotism way. They're just being hypnotized to hear the dead girl.
Yeah, very possibly.
Which is disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like the aspect of freedom versus safety, and this Ghost in the Shell's kind of saved my daughter by uploading her intelligence into this machine, and now the machine's going haywire.
The funniest thing would be to destroy all of the themes and just say, it was just bad people all along.
No, adults. It was adults all along.
Adults, yes. Never trust someone over 30, which means neither of us.
So yeah, but I mean, there's not... like you said, they're tying up all their loose ends. They're not, though. They're creating more loose ends. Because I'm having these thoughts of Ghost in the Machine scenario, and, well, if that's just hypnotism, then some of these things don't add up anymore. Like, Green is constantly getting trackers on him because the woman that works for Hazard Cast is constantly loading everything he carries down with trackers.
Yeah.
Because his dad runs Hazard Cast, and his dad is setting something up. But his dad has no connection to the hypnotism thing, because that was the other guy's thing. That Hazard Cast is doing hypnotism on his own son.
Alright, time for one last final 100% Griffin prediction here. Green's father is involved with the real estate developer, is involved with Taki, and they're all planning to go ahead and reform Tokyo 24th Ward as they wish, which is why he's saying it's a revolution. They're going to make it how he think it should be, and completely fuck over everyone.
You probably couldn't hear the rock shaking in my head, but I was shaking my head no. I think that falls apart from episode 1, because his father was on the board that approved the redoing of the elementary school, which you will then recall the construction people burnt down, which then ended up killing his own daughter.
Right. That would seem to be very cross-purpose, wouldn't it?
I mean, more than cross-purpose, I would assume that he would no longer deal with the people that killed his family.
Right. That's what I mean by cross-purpose. Like, it doesn't fit what his intentions are if it's going to do more things like that to him.
Well,
Unless he's just, like, completely evil, and it's like, I'm going to sacrifice my last remaining kid for this.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is I don't think it's cross-purposes, because it happened in the past. And which is to say, they're not working towards the same ends, cross-purposes. I mean, they wouldn't be working together at all. This dude would be after those assholes, and he's not.
Right. Unless he's just completely evil, and it's just bad people all along, and he's like, yes, I killed my daughter intentionally, which is totally not the vibe I get from this show. There's no way that's going to happen.
It's also the fact that in the first episode, we saw Green analyzing his father's movements and everything like that, and he didn't read anything into anything that was going on. Like, he was reading the motions like he doesn't know what's going on, and he's trying to keep people calm. Not, he knows what's happening here. I better investigate this.
Yeah, I would say, well, maybe he's had superpowers all along, and he was super hiding his real emotions and thoughts from his own son, who also has superpowers now. But the show has very explicitly shown that you only have superpowers if you get the special eyes.
But again, we brought back to that. Kunai didn't have superpowers, but he had special eyes.
Right, which meant something was happening, but maybe not explicit superpowers for him. I imagine that whoever's giving the calls could say, like, I'm not giving you superpowers.
That would be a weird.
I just want you to do things. Because we already saw, like, people were jumping off of buildings because of the program.
I can't wait till we get to the episode where they get the phone call and it's, I'm not giving you superpowers. And we don't know that they were jumping off the buildings because of that, because their eyes... You saw them. No, you saw the dude fall past the elevator, right? You saw his eyes. They were crazed. They weren't superpower eyes either.
That is true, but it was because of the program, and it seems to be the same program that can also give people eyes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Kunai listened to it, didn't get superpowers, still got crazy eyes.
Alright, final say. Kun I. Huh?
Well, that would be Kun AI. Not Kun EIE.
Kun I. There you go. Point made, I'm right.
I mean, again... After how long you were in the last episode, you don't remember. That's what I'm saying. This is just a miracle that you pulled a Hail Mary pass and called everything that was happening today.
I gotta balance out my perfect predictions with a whole bunch of wrong, alright?
I'm still taking the long-term prediction. I'm really hoping it's a Ghost in the Machine scenario. That the daughter is actually there, and you remember the very first scene from the very first episode?
Yeah, there's weird ghost programmer person hanging around, and we're like, what the hell is this? And she hasn't shown up at all.
Well, again, their mother is dead, and the sister is dead, and they're the only two people we've seen in this weird ghost-like state. So I'm really hoping it is I've uploaded my dead family into the computer scenario, and not just... Because I'd be slightly disappointed if it's I hypnotized you to think of your best friend scenario.
It would be all the more cruel.
I mean, not even cruel. It just seems too easy, right? Like we're doing a lot of weird introspective stuff, like the principle of double effort and whatnot. And I would really, really hate if it all just came down to mind control. Everything in the show is just the drug, and it's just mind control. It's like, cool.
Everyone was just hallucinating, saving the day.
Cool. Figured out in episode 5. 6 episodes more of mind control, I guess. No more introspection.
You thought this was leading up to something. You were wrong. How dare you expect more from your media? Alright, well, I think I got everything I gotta say out. What about you?
Yeah, go watch Pontypool.
Alright, yeah, go watch Pontypool. I'm Griffin, this is Theta, and, well, catch you next time. See you, everybody. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below, and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?